Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to talk about something that's a little depressing, but it needs to be talked about. And I promised you that I would talk about everything that I could think about to inform you guys about on my channel. And today I am talking about goodbye letters. And so if that's not something that you would like to talk about, or it's too depressing for you to talk about, you can click off. It's not going to hurt my feelings. But if it is something that you want to talk about, continue to watch my video. So here it is, okay? Goodbye letters. It's not something that anybody wants to write. It's not something that anybody wants to deal with. But the reality is that you're having a major surgery. And it's by choice. I mean, granted, some people have this because it's medically necessary. I'm not in horrible health, but if I continue being a bigger person, I will be in horrible health. And it will be medical necessary. I'm trying to take care of myself now before it gets worse. So, I was on my group, support group, and I was on there, and I had been thinking about it for a couple days if I should write a goodbye letter to my husband. And I was like, that's really morbid. Should I write a goodbye letter? Because, you know, unfortunately, the only people who normally write goodbye letters are people that are planning to pass away. Or having control over the fact that they're going to pass away. And I didn't really want to write such a depressing letter, but in the end I thought to myself that I wanted a chance to say goodbye to my husband if it was the last time I would ever speak to him. And I know in my heart I'm going to be fine, but just in case there is a slip up and I don't make it out, I want to be able to say goodbye to him because I love that man with all my heart. It's that ushy-gushy romance that you read about and you're like, oh my God, that does not exist in real life. Yes, it does. We fight, and we may want to pull out each other's hair, but as hard as we fight sometimes is as hard as we love. And we love more than we fight. And a lot of people, they tell us that we're just gushy. And they're like, you guys disgust me, and blah, 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 blah. Get a room. We just lucked out when it came to love. And I couldn't imagine him going the rest of his life without getting that final goodbye from me. Granted, he might not be able to say goodbye to me, but I will be able to say goodbye to him. And basically, I just wrote a letter that said that I loved him and that I was so blessed for the time that I had with him and that he had changed my life for the better. And that I wanted him to be happy and not ever claim any guilt about my death due to my surgery, because we have been doing this whole surgery process together. But ultimately, this was my decision, this was my choice, and I want to have this surgery than to live big the rest of my life. Because I want to know what it is to have children. I want to know what it is to go out there and run a marathon. I don't want to sit on the sidelines anymore, and I've tried to lose the weight on my own. And you know what? I've done a pretty good job. When I first started this, I weighed 364 pounds. I weigh 307 pounds. And that was just purely by me changing what I ate. But I just need a little bit of extra help. It's not an easy way out. I have to change the rest of my life. I have to change what I eat for the rest of my life, what I do for the rest of my life, and it's a big change for me. But I'm getting off topic. In case nobody knows this about me, I have a habit of doing so. But I wrote that letter to my husband. He has not seen it. He knows it exists because we don't keep secrets from each other. We have a habit of telling each other everything to the point that it's like, you really didn't need to share that with me, but thanks. It's good to know. So he does know that it exists, but it's going to be with a friend of mine, and I've told her that after so much time I want her to basically cut it up and throw it away, and I don't want it read by anybody. I just want it, you know, those words to be in that piece of paper and thrown away if it's not needed, because I don't want that heartbreak to be out here and about. Does that make sense? Hopefully. But I think that if you want to take the time to say goodbye to somebody that you love, it's not morbid, it's not creepy, it's not thinking pessimistically, it's being real. The real possibility that something could happen out of your control. Because when you put your body in somebody else's hands and you're asleep and you're not the one doing whatever it is that they're going to do to your body, you don't have control, so you don't know what's going to happen. And you can just hope for the best. And you know what? I picked a great surgeon. I know his mortality rate, and I know what school he went to. I know that he's done a lot of these surgeries, and I know that I'm in good hands, so I feel very optimistic about it. And I recommend that you definitely do your research on your surgeon. Know where he comes from, know what his background is, know how many surgeries he's done, what his mortality rate is, and the hospital's mortality rate and stuff like that. These are things that you should check into, and it's something that I checked into. There was 2 different hospitals I could have went to, and surprisingly enough, the hospital that I'm going to is the hospital I probably wouldn't have chosen at first, but their mortality rate is very low compared to the other one that I was going to go to. And so that's another thing that you want to check into. If I could have sat down and written a goodbye letter to everybody that I knew, then it would have taken me a long time, but it would have been very sad and depressing. I only wrote 2 goodbye letters, one to my husband and one to my brother, my little brother. And I wrote one to my little brother because we're very close, we're best friends, and I know that if I passed away, he would take it very, very hard. And so I needed to write him a letter just to say goodbye to him as well. And they won't even know what they say if everything goes the way we're planning on it to. And because I love every single one of my friends, they have changed my life. There are people in my life that has changed my life, and I would love to have written them a letter, but it's just not possible because it is a sad, depressing thing. But it is something that needs to be done, and I believe that the 2 people that would be affected the most would have a letter of goodbye. I'm not saying that there aren't people out there that won't be affected greatly, because I have people in my mind right now that would be affected greatly. But I can't imagine myself sitting down and writing letters to every single one of those people. Just know that I love you guys. You guys changed my life. My life would not have been the same without you, and I hope that I'm remembered as a very loving person, whether I go today, tomorrow, or 100 years from now. That I was just a loving person that would stop whatever I was doing to help someone. When it came to an emergency, I'm not saying that I stopped every time somebody needed $5 or a babysitter, but if somebody came to me and was like, I need you right now, I pretty much drop what I'm doing and I go to that person because I love them, and that's the way I'd want to be treated. And I don't treat others the way they treat me. I'll be honest, I treat people the way I want to be treated. And I mean, unless you're just a royal douche to me, then I'm kind of douchey to you, because that's just that's just who I am sometimes. If you catch me in a bad mood, you'll probably get the brunt end of the stick. I'm sorry. But for the most part, I'm a decent person to deal with. But apparently, I've been told that I am so much more confident on camera than I am in person, which to me is pretty amazing. I wish I could be as confident in person, and maybe one day I will be. But I like that I'm able to come on this camera and talk to you guys. I hope this has helped. I know that it was probably a lot of jumble words or whatever, but I hope that you guys got something out of it. Basically, the gist of this is if you want to write a goodbye letter, by all means do it, because it's your choice to say goodbye to your loved ones, because you don't know what'll happen. You know, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. I love you guys, and God bless.